The S-Class has always been the car Mercedes uses to show the rest of the world what luxury is supposed to mean. What you're looking at takes that idea and hands it to Brabus, the tuning house that has spent decades turning Mercedes flagships into something more aggressive, without losing the things that made them special in the first place. This particular car sits on a dealer floor in Romania wearing a full Brabus body kit, Brabus forged wheels, and a price that tells you exactly who it is built for. €156,000, which works out to around $182,000 at today's rate. In dark green over a light cabin, the body kit changes the character of the car completely. The standard S-Class is calm and understated. This one is not. There is a deeper front lip, a carbon rear spoiler on the trunk, and a more aggressive diffuser wrapped around quad exhaust tips. The green itself looks almost black in shadow, and then catches the showroom lights and turns deep and metallic as you walk around it. The Brabus forged wheels fill the arches in a way the standard alloys never do, and the lowered stance gives the whole car a planted look from the side. It still reads as an S-Class from across a room, but up close the intent is obvious. This is the flagship with the volume turned up. The rear deserves its own moment. The carbon spoiler is subtle enough that most people would miss it at a glance, but the Brabus badge replaces the usual three-pointed star on the boot, and the quad tips are integrated into the diffuser, rather than bolted on as an afterthought. From behind, this looks less like a limousine and more like something that means business. Inside is where the contradiction becomes interesting. The cabin keeps everything that makes an S-Class the benchmark for comfort. The dashboard flows into the doors with that single uninterrupted line. The materials feel expensive everywhere your hand lands, and the build quality is exactly what you expect at this level. The wood trim runs through the doors and across the dash, and the contrast between the light leather and the darker accents gives this space a calm, expensive feel that photographs never quite capture. Up front, the driver faces a large central touchscreen angled slightly toward them, a digital instrument display, and a steering wheel trimmed to match the rest of the cabin. The Brabus floor mats are a small touch, but they tell you the changes are not only skin deep. The seats are quilted, ventilated, and heated, and they hold you in place far better than a car this size should. There's also a sense of occasion every time you climb in, helped by the ambient lighting running through the doors and the way the screens wake up as you settle into the seat. The rear is the reason most people buy an S-Class in the first place. There is genuine lounge space back here, with reclining outer seats, a tablet controller in the armrest, and a separate screen for adjusting position, massage, and climate. The detail that stands out is how easy all of it is to use. You pull the small screen out of the armrest, and from there you can move the seat, change the cabin temperature, or start a massage without leaning forward. You sit in the back of this car and immediately understand why it has defined the segment for so long. The space, the quiet, and the sense of being looked after are still unmatched, and the Brabus changes outside take nothing away from the common here. The trunk handles the daily reality of a car like this without complaint. With around 550 liters, or 19.4 cubic feet, there is room for several large suitcases, which matters because this is a car built to cover long distances in one sitting. The opening is wide, and the floor is flat, so loading a weekend away for 4 people is never a problem. Under the hood is where Brabus earns its badge. The standard S500 uses a 3-liter inline-six with a mild hybrid system, making 442 horsepower. With the Brabus PowerXtra module fitted, that climbs to around 493 horsepower and 435 pound-feet of torque, which drops the 0 to 60 time to roughly 4.7 seconds. That is genuinely quick for a car weighing well over 2 tons, and the way it builds speed is effortless rather than violent. If breakdowns like this help you decide what to look for, subscribe so you catch the next one. The power arrives in a long, smooth wave, and the inline-six stays quiet until you ask it for everything. What makes this more than a numbers exercise is how the car carries that extra power. The air suspension keeps the body flat and settled, so even with the lower Brabus stance, the ride stays composed rather than firm. It can waft through a city in silence and then pull hard the moment you want it to, without ever feeling like 2 different cars stitched together. It is worth being honest about one thing. The screen-heavy interior, for all its technology, has a reputation for occasional lag and the odd software glitch on early cars, which is the trade-off for a cabin that controls almost everything through displays. Mercedes has steadily improved this through software updates, and the latest cars feel far more settled, so the issue is mostly behind this generation now. What makes this car interesting is not just the extra power or the body kit, it is what the combination represents. The S-Class is the most complete luxury sedan in the world, and Brabus takes that completeness and gives it an edge that the factory would never officially sign off on. It is not for everyone, and it is not trying to be. For the buyer who wants the best luxury car ever made but refuses to blend into traffic, this is one of the few things that delivers both at once. For watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Leave a comment below with your thoughts or questions. I read every single one, and don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified about my next upload. See you in the next video.